Everybody, this is Sam from SD Media, and I'm at Shady Grove Church in Cornelia, Georgia, and I'm here interviewing Portia Burns, correct?
That's me.
Yes. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a music person of all trades. I'm the minister of music here at Shady Grove. I'm also the youth pastor here. I am an adjunct professor of music at Brown University, where I'm in charge of the gospel choir there. I teach private music lessons in piano, voice, percussion, and I also write my own music. So I do a lot of stuff, but it's all, it's all music based, and I love it. I even DJ on the side if you need a DJ.
You DJ?
Yeah, just a little bit. It's nothing big. Something I picked up in college just to kind of, make a few coins. I can keep the party going a little bit.
You have real turntables or?
Oh no, I'm not that advanced. That's why I say I dabble in it. It's just
With a laptop?
Yeah, just keep the playlist continuous.
Okay, cool. So, as I can hear, you have been birthed with music in your bones. So, since you've been birthed with it, tell me a little bit about your journey, how you started.
Well, according to my parents, I was singing before I could talk. Singing was more clear than even things that I said. Music has always been a part of my life. There's something about you I adore, and I can't help but love you so much more. If you knew exactly how I feel, you would know this love is for real. Every night on my knees I pray for the Lord to send you my way. So I hope you hear what I say. I really, really want you to stay. Stay with me forevermore. Stay with me forevermore. Stay with me forevermore. Stay with me forevermore.
Okay, that was beautiful.
Both of my parents sing. My mom plays the piano. Our whole family is just musically oriented. And my mom saw I had an interest in the piano when I was younger, so she started me with piano lessons at 5. And I took piano lessons until I was 15, and the rest I've been self-taught, and I learned a lot in college. I studied at both Piedmont College and Brown University, and that's pretty much solidified my skill to be the musician that I am right now.
Okay, so on the piano, can we call you a prodigy?
Oh, I wouldn't say prodigy, but I am skilled. Thanks be to God. I practice. I don't know anybody that gets good at what they do without practicing. So I do practice.
What is your routine on practice?
I usually start with a song that's giving me the most trouble. I work the trouble spot over and over until I get it smooth, and then I take it from the top and make sure that it's connected.
Yeah, like how many hours do you practice a day?
I only practice 30 minutes a day.
Every day, 7 days?
Every day. 30 minutes every day. That way, I'm not so wore out just wearing myself out in practice. Trying to do a full 2 hours. There's no reason for that. Nobody should do that.
So, if I had an interest in learning how to play the piano, I know nothing about it, how would I start?
The first thing you need to know, I tell everybody, knowing just the regular lines and spaces on your staff, knowing what your keys are on the piano, that's where it starts. Whether you play by ear or by music, you need to know those essential things in order to build your skill. And nowadays, even though I teach it, I tell anybody, that's already kind of got a hankering for it, YouTube can teach you just about anything nowadays. But it's
to a point, I believe, because
to a point, yeah.
The reason why I say to a point, because some of the shows, they're edited and that's not their profession, and so they drop out like the key things. You get there and you go, oh, what happened? But then you figure it out. But it is true, you can learn a lot from YouTube. But
I think you gain most of your skill by having somebody be hands-on with you to show you those step-by-step things, and that's why I do what I do. I love it.
Okay, so I see how you got your start. So, do you have any music right now that you're thinking, working on? What do you do?
I'm working on 2 albums actually right now. One with my gospel inspirational group. Our name is Val. We go by Vessels of Worship. And that's called Scripted Life. The reason we titled it that is because every song is a Bible verse as opposed to being an actual title. And that's one project. Then I'm working on a solo project of my own called The Love Spectrum, which is R&B type vibe. And I know some people are just like, how you gonna do gospel and do R&B? I just feel like as long as it's not vulgar, all things are to the glory of God. God is love, so why wouldn't you be able to do R&B? So I don't feel any way doing R&B or gospel.
Well, since you brought that up, what is the issue? I hear a lot of people talking about if you're saved, you can only do gospel music, and you fell away from God if you're doing R&B. I never could understand that.
I think it's kind of one of those things that it's all in how you speak. It's all in what you entertain. It's all in your image. If your image is still wholesome, you're not out here vulgar, you're not doing any and everything, the way you live your life speaks your relationship with God. And I think people get so over religious that they miss relationship. So if your relationship is secure, then it shouldn't matter, if I'm singing about love or if I'm singing about Jesus. All of it, God gave me this talent, and I feel like I should explore, all facets of it. I just don't have to lose myself in the process,
Okay, good. I'm glad we got there, because this is something that I think about. If you only use your talent just to sing gospel, what about the people that are lost? Don't they deserve an opportunity in some sort of way to be reached?
They do. You can't just reach people in one lane. I think of even my dad, who's the pastor here. My dad, will use his testimony of where he's been to reach people in that same bracket. And if you only talk about where you are now, then how do you expect people that are looking at it, they just like, well, I'm here. How am I going to get here? You have to go with them through that journey. Plus, everybody doesn't listen to gospel music. I'm very well aware of it. But if you have that spark, there's going to be something about you that reaches people. And you're going to be able to have those open conversations with people that you never thought you would before.
That's cool. That's cool. So tell me about your project. First, we'll talk about the secular project.
Okay, the Love Spectrum. It is a concept of all facets of love. So I'm starting with like puppy love, into like, oh, we're dating, it's cool, we love each other, then being in love, then that strange place of what are we doing, who are we, the breakup section, and then also healing from, you know, having your heart broken and learning to start again and opening up to love again. So it's got everything crossed as far as love goes. I even talk about my last song, you know, even talks about who love is. For me, is God. I know a lot of my healing that I've done in past relationships has come from, you know, just my relationship with God. So, you know, don't get too churchy on it, just enough to let them know where I come from and what I represent.
Yeah, well, love is like really deep. In the English language, there's only one word for love, but we use it in so many different forms, or I could say facets. And so just hearing what you're singing about, you're going to different levels. Like that puppy love is like that infatuation.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really the dangerous, but you know, because it can take you somewhere you don't plan to go.
Right. I even have a song on there where like I'm in love with somebody that belongs to someone else. I think with the album, there's gonna be something in someone's life that they can relate to. They've either been there, or they're there right now, or they're going into it. So
I take it this album was planned, and there's a hidden message in there somewhere. You know, I just have that feeling there's a hidden message in there.
I mean, no hidden messages except for just sharing. I think for the most part, it's me actually giving of myself. I'm usually the behind the scenes type person. I don't like to really be in the forefront. So it was just, this started off as a book of poetry. And I decided to transform it into an album. So no, there's no hidden message outside of that. Just all of them are connected to relationships I have been in, though.
Okay.
And if you did date me, you're probably gonna know which song is yours.
Okay. Wow. But it's interesting, what you're doing now. I know you're in the R&B. Do you like hip hop at all?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Who do you listen to?
My favorite hip hop, I'm gonna have to go with J. Cole, just off top. I like a lot of indie stuff as well, but it's something about J. Cole as far as like my generation goes. He's so pure. When I say pure, I mean like he's gonna give it to you straight up. You know, that's hip hop wise. If I'm thinking rap, I'm gonna probably go with Drake. You know, I like the fact that Drake dabbles in everything and he's still consistent. I like that. I don't care if he has a ghostwriter or not. I like Drake. Kendrick Lamar. If we gonna go old school, and you know, I like Jay-Z. I like the old heads. Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Tupac.
Okay. So you know a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I'm well rounded in all music.
Okay, that's cool. Well, you said you went to college, and so then you also had Street University.
Yes, that's it. That's where we started.
Yeah. So, wow. What is it about the indie artists that you like about it? You said you like them.
I love indie music because there's no restriction. They're free to be themselves. They don't have to fit into a mold of anybody else. If you listen to indie artists as opposed to mainstream artists, indie artists all sound different. And that's how music used to be. It used to be when you heard a lick, you know, come on, you heard, you knew you was listening to the Isley Brothers. It was something about each band or each artist that just stood out. And that's what I still like about indie music, because it's that same way. Mainstream music, a lot of it sounds similar to the point where it's just like, oh, who is this again? Oh, who is this? And unless you're a diehard fan, sometimes you don't even know who you're listening to.
Okay. My question is, with your album and all the work you're doing, what is the goal? Would you want to be signed, or do you want to be an independent? What's your take on it?
I would prefer to be an indie artist. Like I said, I don't like anybody stifling my creativity, and me having to fit a certain agenda. As an indie artist, I can be all of myself.
Okay.
I just want to be a name where, like, if somebody says my name, they're like, oh, I know who that is. Even if it's not, super mainstream, I'm not really going for that. Just have my music out there. And I love to write, so, I'll even write for some of the signed artists if they need it.
Okay. So we settle that you don't want to be part of a label, independent. You want to be indie on your own. So what is the direction that you plan to take to get your music out there?
Of course, I've done a lot of research, but just making sure that I'm on all streaming platforms, making sure that, the people that I do have that already know about me and different things like that, they also are pushing, your fans are your biggest base to really be heard. I've now started doing outside gigs because, no lie, I'm really just now starting to push my stuff out there, and I've been writing since I was 12.
Okay.
But like I said, I've always been kind of behind the scenes and not really wanting to go right in. But like I said, I've been, picking up different gigs, taking weddings, singing at coffee shops, just, really just in different places so people will know who I am,
Gotcha.
Networking wise.
Gotcha. Do you have a website?
I'm working on my website. It is not done.
Okay, and do you plan from your albums that you have, do you plan to make a career out of this, or this is just...
I plan to make a career out of it. My 5-year goal is to own my own record company, an indie label, and to have my own arts academy, and to share with with young adults and kids the same passion I have, and for them to have a platform to do it. So yes, I would love to make a career out of this, because right now I took a leap of faith, and I was a middle school course director for 6 years, and I took the leap of faith to stop that and to get my own path. And it's been tough, but God has been good. I have less debt now than I had when I was making $2,700 more than what I make now. So I have no complaints.
Okay. You said about getting your music out there. Are you gonna sell your music, or are you just gonna put it up like most of the other artists do? And
I'm definitely gonna sell. Like when it comes to like SoundCloud and different things like that, I would post it, but it wouldn't be the mastered. Cause how sometimes people can still snatch your stuff no matter how many things you go through. There are many websites that have you go from like video to MP3 or whatever. So if I do put anything on YouTube, it would definitely be protected. That way people can't download from it. But I just want to, before I put it on anything free, I want it to be on like iTunes and Google Music and different things like that, where people can stream it legit. That's the same way I do everybody else's. I try not to steal any music, because I don't want that to be done to me.
You hear that, people? Everybody that's making music has to live off of it. So stop stealing. Pay for it.
Pay for it. I mean, it's $1. Like, and I'm not big time. I don't have the $1.29. I got the 99-cent download. So, yeah.
That's good. I'm glad. Let's see. We covered indie artists. We covered your 5-year goal. What's that 10-year goal?
What's the 10-year goal?
Yeah, if you got a 5, it's only 5 more years.
Security, where I am, I can swipe my car with confidence. I can have, just where everything is running smoothly, where I know my day-to-day routine. I'm doing stuff. I'm touring. I'm letting people know I'm not just a household name anymore. I'm, not even statewide. I want to be known, nationwide and therefore international. I really want to take this thing. I'm about to be 31, And at first I thought that was an old age, but then I was like, man, everybody that's been successful, they gotta, it seems like a slow start, but I'm gonna finish strong. So. Plus black don't crack, so I'm good.
Yeah, age really doesn't matter. A lot of people like to discourage musicians because they don't understand what a musician has to go through, and it's a struggle. So tell me about the struggles.
Oh goodness, especially being a musician in church, a lot of times, people feel like, oh, you should just do this because that's your calling, that's your anointing. Yeah, that's true. But like he said before, this is my livelihood. This is, how I pay my bills and everything of that nature. I'm not asking, for anybody to break the bank because I don't believe my price is that steep or anything like that. It's just that you have to understand that this is my occupation on top of my anointing. And then, the struggle of just when I was practicing, going back and forth to practices and making sure, everything was secure. Trying to keep up with a social life on top of being a musician is almost crazy. In college, you never get to take the minimum amount of hours as a music major. You're always 1918. You got the max of hours just to graduate on time. The struggle of not sounding like somebody else, not being compared to somebody else, to have your own sound. It's a lot that goes into being a musician just to stand out, because you have to have something to stand out. Whatever your gimmick is, you got to figure out what it is.
Okay, you've been behind the scenes, but you touched on something really important to me. Style. What is your style?
I feel like I'm like an NDRE type. I love neo soul, that style. I like to mix jazz and gospel combinations together. Throw a little, hip hop flair in there, country flair. I like all music, so my style is kind of all genres. Like I don't have a set genre that I want to be, held up under. But when you hear my music, a lot of times with people who have heard my music, they'll be like, oh, I know you did that. I know you played that. So I do have a set style. I used to call my music that fi-fi. So
the what?
Fi-fi, like it's fire.
Fire.
Yeah,
Fire.
That was my genre that I titled all my music. If you look on my iTunes, all of my music says fi-fi as the genre.
Okay.
Because I didn't feel like I fit in anything else.
So you making your own lane.
Pretty much.
You hear that, everybody out there? Get out of the way. Because she's walking by faith. Right, Portia?
Most definitely.
That's right. Well, I don't want to talk about your music because it's good what you're doing, but I don't want anybody to be able to peep it for free. I thought about it, I wanted to play it, but I know you're coming up with some projects, like some videos, and so as soon as you get your album released, then I'll advertise it on the show, and we'll definitely play your video. I'm against people getting something for free.